We had a little glitch. So we'll see if people are going to rejoin us. Okay, Max? Do you think people are going to come see that we're live again? I think our friends are going to come back. It was not a good glitch, was it, Max? Oh, you're squeaking. Are you a squeak toy? Hello, Emily. Hello, Kim. Hello, Jocelyn. Yeah, it's, hi, Melissa. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Emily. Yes, we are back. I noticed I was still streaming, and yeah, Connie, we're back. Hi, Nick. I was still streaming, and I looked at it's like, my comments stalled again. And then I looked, and I realized that the viewer count kept dropping drastically. Oh, Gesundheit. Did you sneeze? So I think YouTube glitched on me. So yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody was left on the stream when I ended it. But if you were still there, you probably heard me say that I was going to restart. But yeah, we are back. And I apologize for that. That was not a good glitch. Ooh, Kim's got a good question. Do you walk with your other birds? We do sometimes. But when I walk with Tico insists absolutely no cameras. And that includes cell phones. Tico's rule is if there's a camera and we're out for a walk, someone's going to bleed. And it's not going to be Tico. And he enforces that rule. So we kind of respect that rule. He'll sometimes go out in a harness, sometimes in a carrier. Nick says it did that to Coco's channel as well. Okay. Yeah, maybe YouTube's a little glitchy tonight. Super frustrating, but hey, it happens, but we are back. And we'll be back. We'll just hang out for a little while here. Yeah. Yeah, no, Tico used to be okay with cameras on walks, and then one day he just said, nope, none of that, Mom. Ooh, Sherry asks, does Max say good morning or good night? Actually, he does not, at least not yet. I always say good morning to the birds, and I tell them it's bedtime. It's sleep time. I think I say good night to you, but we've got a little bedtime ritual for the flock. And yeah, why don't I share what the flock's bird time ritual is? We sometimes jokingly call it bird time for beddies. And the birds understand what that's about. That was a mosquito. I'm just trying to make sure that it's not on my face. I don't need to get ate by mosquitoes, Max. You keep an eye for Mr. Mosquito, okay? You let me know where he went, because I don't see him right now. And I'm pretty sure that he's out for my blood. Yeah, I'm the mosquito attractant. But yeah, our bedtime ritual is, last thing I do in the evening is I usually hand out a soft snack. Mango really likes a piece of carrot. If I've got blueberries or something, I hand out a few blueberries and everyone starts munching on those. While they're munching on their soft snack, I go ahead and I empty the water bowls, because birdies have usually made birdie soup. And it's not unusual for me to empty the bowls multiple times in the day, but I try to empty them last at night, because this way in the morning the birds have fresh water. So I empty the bowls and I wash them and I fill them with fresh water. I put out fresh crunchies. Sometimes that means I need to wash bowls. If the crunchy bowl is relatively clean and it's only had dry stuff in it, I'll just put some more crunchies on top. But I get everybody fresh crunchies, and then I hand out some crunchy treats. The flock really, really likes it if I hand out a walnut and a half shell. Tico, Tikal, and Mango like treat balls. Mango really, really loves veggie foragers. But he'll also now accept a Nutriberry, because we don't do a lot of seeds. Seeds are a special occasion treat. Seeds are not good for birds, they're fattening, and it's okay as a treat, but I usually hand out one Nutriberry or maybe some Abbey cake or something tasty, and the flock can have that. Mango likes his nuts too, so I'll hand those out sort of late at night, and they can usually have a little bit of snack. That's a very loud car out there, Matt. Oh, there go the birds flying overhead. Yeah, I know, I see them. That car needs a muffler. Yeah, those are seagulls. I don't think seagulls speak robin. Oh, let's see, we got spammers again. Yeah, I don't know if everyone is fascinated and thinks that we should eat Max. There's absolutely no call for that. I don't think you'd taste very good. No, I don't think you'd taste very good. And you know what? You may find yourself on timeout if you start acting like that. Max is actually, I'm Canadian, so from Canada, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And Max is actually not an Australian bird. He would be an Indonesian bird. Moluccan cockatoos are one of the birds that do not come from Australia, but he would come native from the Maluku Islands in Indonesia. There you go. Max was born and bred in Canada. Yeah. 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 I just put a couple of people on snooze. Yeah, Max is definitely a cockatoo. He's a Moluccan cockatoo, which is a subbreed of cockatoo. There's many types of cockatoo. There's salmon crested, there's the umbrella, there's the goffin, and then there is the Moluccan cockatoo. So that's what Max is. Max likes eating chicken. Yeah, people need some manners. I agree, Nick. I agree. Kim, where did I get Max? That's actually a great question. Max is a rescue, and he came to live with me. I'm his second home. He spent 10 years living in a basement. He knew how to yell and scream when he met me. And one of the last things his previous owner said to me is, by the way, he loves men and hates women. Great. This is not going to be a good fit because I am definitely in that category that Max hates. But you know what? Max has decided that he'll make an exception for me. He's forgiven me for being female. I know. Yeah, Max still loves men, but he's okay with women. And when he gets tired, he does not even want guys. He just wants mom. He just wants me. But he's definitely grown a lot. He's learned a lot over the years. He's chilled out. When I met him, I could not handle him. And that was the case for a couple of years. And then things turned a corner and we started being able to handle him. He started realizing that life's okay and he could trust me. And now we go for walks and adventures everywhere, which is pretty cool. But Kim, Max's story is actually on the channel. It's a video called The Story of a Rescue. And if you go to our community tab, which is the post tab, you'll actually see it. We tagged it, I want to say 4 or 5 posts back. Maybe a few more than that. But it was relatively recent that we shared it out because we think it's an important story. And it really does showcase what Max's backstory is. and it tells the tale. Max has got a really happy ending. You know, he found a forever home and he's living his best life. That's not always the case with birds. A lot of birds end up in rescues and they may be looking for homes for years. Do you see somebody, Max? Can you say hello? Oh, goes a crest. There goes the crest. Can you do crest up again? Maybe to the side? I'm going to flip the camera. He did a crest up straight at the camera. Empathic veteran. Actually, birds can make incredible companions for people with PTSD. You do have to be calm around birds, and they are very good at reading your emotions. You can communicate with them, and you know what? They are amazing. Max is very much like a feathered toddler, but they are also a lot of work. Tommy, we've never had Max fly away, but I'm going to show you something. Look what Max is wearing here. It's underneath his feathers. It is called a harness. He is harnessed, and he does not mind wearing it at all. It goes on. He wears an aviator harness, and it just means that he's not going to get more than a leash length away from me. The harness itself has got a bit of a bungee on the cord itself, so he does not have a sudden stop. But it means we're not going to end up with him on a busy road, because I don't trust those cars to stop. We're not going to end up with him on top of a 3-story building, because, yeah, that would be an absolute nightmare. Yeah. Thanks, Connie. Yeah, Max is speaking robin chirp. That's one of his newest sounds. Hi, Kathy. Squeak, squeak. You know, Kim, it's so much fun to share Max with everybody. Ghostal asks, can I get him to puff his feathers up? Nope. The only person who can get Max to fluff his feathers up is Max. He'll probably give us a fluff in a little bit. He likes to fluff. Josh, Max was born and bred in Canada. You don't see birds like Max leaving Australia, leaving Indonesia, or leaving their native homes anymore. With the exotics, that's just not a thing. But here's the thing. When I met Max, he was living in a basement. He's a rescue. I do not believe in breeding birds like this, and definitely not having them come in captivity. Some are smuggled. That is, I think, an absolute no-no. It's not good for the birds. But these birds, they need an awful lot of attention. They need a lot of enrichment. It's not an easy bird to have as a pet, right, Max? Not easy at all. It's a lot of work. And here, Max, I'm gonna... Oh, you don't want to step up. Okay. He's living his best life with me right now. He would never be able to go back to Indonesia. Indonesia, the Moluccan Islands in Indonesia. He would never be able to live in the wild. So quite honestly, he's living his best life. He's not being bred. And we're just trying to set right what was not set right to begin with. Oh, what do you see, Max? Do you see people? I'm going to move the camera so I don't accidentally catch them. Hello. Is it awesome, Max? There we go. Is it awesome? Crest up, Max. Awesome. Yeah. You're always excited to see friends. Come on up. Step, step. Woof, woof. I'm going to stand up with Max for a minute. Sorry, folks. Sometimes it takes me a minute to disentangle him. There we go. Can I get a bark, bark, bark? Oh, we got a bark, bark, bark. Do you see people? Do you see dogs? Do you see, what do you see, Max? Yeah, you see a dog. That's right, Max. You see a dog. Okay. I'm just going to rotate myself around here. So I'm going to position myself this direction. I think the light's a little bit better. Yeah. All right. Max is now barking. Yeah, Josh, Moluccans are one of the few cockatoos that do not actually come from Australia. He'd come from Indonesia, specifically the Moluccan Islands. But, you know, he's being well cared for. He really is. He's a family member here. He's treated with a lot of respect. Yeah, the Moluccan cockatoos have salmon-colored feathers. They're also known as a salmon-crested. You saw when he had his crest up a minute ago. I think that dog's barking back at you now, Max. Look what you did. You set off a dog. Yeah, Kathy, Australian birds are beautiful. I think all birds are beautiful. They've got their own beauty, right, Max? Yeah, but Max is living his best life. We make sure he gets out as often as possible. It's pretty hot in the house right now. It's cooler sitting at the porch like we are. We're in the shade. It's cooler here. And Max is just hanging out and enjoying. Hi, Cheryl's Park. He can talk when he wants to. Cheryl's Park, sorry, we dropped off earlier. We had a little bit of a glitch in the stream and we did not realize it right away. Max, can you talk Canadian, eh? Yeah, well, he probably pronounces things like I do, which, yeah, I pronounce things like a Canadian. And, you know, I say Keller. Yeah, that's the way I refer to red, green, blue, etc. And some people look at me oddly and say, that's weird. And I spell it with a U as well. That's the way it's supposed to be spelled. And I know the Americans will disagree with me. But yeah, we're Canadian. Yeah, Max would be native to the Moluccan Islands in Indonesia, but he was born and bred in Canada. And he is living his best life here. You know, he was a rescue, so I met him when he was 10. He was living in a basement, and all he could do is scream and bite. So he's come a very long way, and his life now has a lot of enrichment in it. So we are definitely doing our best by him. Lady Palomino says, I also have a yellow Amazon parrot named Max. I'm going to flip the camera around a little bit here so we can see Max and I can read the comments. Yeah, that's better. That's cool. We have an Amazon here as well. Tikal the Amazon. Tikal came to live with us. We're his second home. We used to bird sit for his parents, and some years he would spend 6 months a year with us because they did an awful lot of traveling and they were retired. When his mom passed away, he came for permanency, and he still goes back to visit his dad, but he spends most of his time with us. Tikal is 50 years young and his vision is not great, so he's living out his retirement years with us, right, Max? Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Melissa loves you, Max. Oops. Kathy says it well. She says, it does not matter. I'm just going to grab the camera here, and maybe I'll get on camera for this one too. I'm so grateful for you sharing Max. It does not matter where he came from. What matters is he's loved and happy now. You know, I couldn't say it better myself. You know, Max is a member of my family. You know, he's definitely loved. He's living his best life. Yeah, they are a ton of work. You know, there's constant cleaning. I tell people it's like having a special needs toddler for life. You need to spend a lot of time with them. You need to keep a close eye on them. They need good food. They need a lot of stimulation. You don't want to just lock them in the cage. They'd get very, very bored. BirdTube just subscribed, Max. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, Tico loves, or African Grey loves to tell Max to whisper. Yeah. No, we're a birdhouse. We're a bird family, right, Max? We're a flock. And I'm just the person who makes sure that the flock is well tended with. And the flock has their own, they've got their rights to have their own opinions. I treat them like they are individuals. I treat them like they have a say, and they certainly do. You know, I don't own them. They live with me. We're roommates. But Max, it'd be really nice if you could clean up after yourself if you're my roommate. But yeah. Yeah, Josh, black cockatoos are very special. The palm cockatoos, they're beautiful. They really, really are. Yeah, Max, are you having fun? Are you chilling out? Kathy says, I love magpies. We get magpies out here. Max occasionally talks to magpies. Yeah, we get magpies and robins, pigeons, crows, ravens, hawks, occasionally eagles, occasionally ospreys. A few blocks away, we see red-winged blackbirds and yellow-headed blackbirds. We have sparrows. I think I mentioned robins already. What else have we got, Max? Talked about the seagulls. Canadian geese, of course. Yeah. Yeah, Max loves barking for dogs. Oh, do you see people, Max? It's a pretty good angle. Ka-ching! We just had an order on our Etsy store. Whoa, whoa! That's right. It's exciting, Max. Ka-ching! Awesome, awesome. We'll get to that after the stream. I'm probably not going to the post office tonight. So I'm probably packaging and going to the post office tomorrow. Yeah, magpies can get aggressive at times. Usually if they're defending a nest. All birds get very defensive if they're defending a nest. What do you think, Max? Yeah. Owen? I'm just going to make better use of the tripod here, I think, Max. Do you think I can make better use of the tripod? There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Shift. Oh, Max, let's move you in a bit. There we go. Actually, Max, we don't trim his beak. He trims it himself. Anytime it starts getting long, he tends to go on a wood chewing exercise. And we did have it trimmed by a vet once, but since then, in nearly 2 decades, we've not had to have it trimmed since. It does grow a little bit longer, and Max has a preference for a longer beak. Mango keeps his trimmed a lot shorter, but here's the thing that the vet says. His beak, if it's a little bit long, that's okay. You want to ask yourself the following questions. Can Max use it to navigate? Can he climb around with it okay? Can he eat with it okay? Can he play with it okay? And as long as the answer to all of that is yes, it's okay if it's a little bit long, because it does not keep growing. When it gets a bit too long, he'll trim it, but he likes it long. It's a personal preference for Max. Mango, the Moluccan, likes his beak much shorter, and he chews on a lot more wood, and he gets really aggressive if his beak starts to grow. He does not want his beak long at all. But it's personal preference. It's like I have different preferences than you do about my hair length. Why can't birds have different preferences on beak length? But we just provide lots of stuff so they can take care of things. Hi, Erin. Yeah, Cheryl's Park, you've been here with us for a long time and we appreciate you. I think the channel's come a really long way too. If you're new here, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. We post lots of fun bird content. The live streams can be a little bit of a toss-up. You never know when Max is going to react. I mean, yesterday we had a tantrum on a stream. And Max got super chatty with a couple of people a few times during the stream. And, you never know what happens during a live. It's very much a toss-up. So I cannot make Max do anything that he does not want to do. And he's not, he's here for his own entertainment. And I just stream and let him have his own chance to just hang out and chill and do his birdie things that he wants to do. Right, Max? Yeah. But definitely our shorts and some of our other videos, you'll have a lot more action on them because I do edit those down. And yeah, sometimes I'll take 3 or 4 hours of footage and edit down into 3 minutes. It does take a lot of time to edit our videos down, but our followers, you're worth it. We try to make sure that we share Max's life, and we try to show some of the adventure and some of the other part of having a large bird. Rosie says she's in New Zealand and they spell color with a U as well. Yeah. It's okay if you're being a bit cheeky. Yeah, I do get a bit defensive, but I am the first person to tell people, do not buy a baby. Like when you're talking about the big birds, don't go buying a baby. Our rescues are full of birds who need new homes. Too often people go to buy a baby bird and within a year or two that bird is being rehomed. It's not a good situation, and it's quite often not fair to the birds like this. So I support adopting through rescues. I support giving birds a second chance. I support adopt, don't shop. But even with the smaller birds, our rescues are over full. I mean, budgies, lovebirds, everything like that. The rescues tend to have a lot of them. Yeah, Max. Josh says, my mother has a nest of cockatoos in Grey Gum. They hollowed out in her backyard. Now that is what I support for breeding cockatoos. In the wild, as nature intended. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Max, he does, he occasionally will try to encourage my left knee to lay an egg. I really discourage that behavior because I do not want him trying to mate with me. He's going to get very frustrated, and that's not the relationship I want with Max. So I am careful. If he's feeling in the mood, shall we say, then I am super, super cautious where I touch him. And I know I watch his reactions carefully. I know what he's trying to tell me. Yeah, he does like having his back petted. But I'll cease and desist immediately if he starts getting aroused. But I don't even go anywhere close to that. I know how he's going to react. He prefers me to start with his back and then head up to his head. And that's I think he had some bad experiences with his head when he was young. Yeah, I got a new feather here to preen, buddy. But yeah, Max needs me to help him preen some of his head feathers. And yeah, we've got a really cool relationship. Hi, Lillian. Welcome to the flock. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. Oh, did some bikes just go past Max? Hi, Shannon. Welcome to the flock. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe. Max is 31 years young, and he's been with me since he was 10, so 21 years. And I think we've got a pretty good relationship. Mutual trust is what it's based on. Hey, Max, do you see people walking past? Hello. Hello. That's right, Max. Hello. That was polite. Was really polite. Connie, I'm glad that we make your heart happy. That's what we're all about, is sharing the joy and sharing the love with people. Yeah, that's right, Max. Max is just having a good preen right now, and it feels good. He wants to sit with me while he preens. You know, he's having a good evening. He says it's getting later, so I'm just going to sit. I'm going to relax. I'm going to give myself a good preening. I'm going to look pretty. I'm going to clean up my feathers. Yeah. You know, so he's sort of getting into his evening ritual right now, which is a bit of a preen. Days are getting shorter. The sun's setting earlier. Yeah, we'll go in if the mosquitoes start getting bad, Max. But right now they're not too bad yet. So we can hang out for a few more minutes. Kim, no, I did not grow up with birds. The first time I met a bird was when I was 17 years old. And I met a bird. I met a little budgie who sat on my finger and pooped on my hand. I was amazed, and I was also horrified. Now, I mean, poop happens, right, Max? And, you know, these birds, they poop big. I'm not, well, it's okay, buddy. Yeah, I know my knee is awfully small for your legs, for your feet. I need a bigger knee. Yeah, let me grow a bigger knee, Max. Yeah. Yeah, Max would be happier perched on a chair, but we have avian flu here, so Max is only allowed to perch on me because I know that I'm clean and I've not been perched on by outdoor birds. So it's, basically it's a compromise. He wants to go outside and I do not want him getting sick. Do you see people across the street, buddy? Yeah. Yeah, so he's living his best life. He really is. No, we're going to turn around again. We're going to turn? Oh, awesome. Maybe not. Well, your foot is half off my knee, honey. That foot's going to slide in a minute. Yeah. Do you want to turn around and sit on my knee proper? Because I'm going to laugh at you if you slide off my knee. I know. It's not like a regular perch that you can hold on to. Well, there you go. That's better. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just put my feet up on a chair so that my knee can be at a reasonable height for Max. Yeah. But yeah, so the first bird I met was a budgie. And it pooped on my hand and it sat on my finger and I was amazed. And then my first birds that I owned were a pair of lovebirds. I was absolutely fascinated by them. From there I went to a Congo African grey. We added to our flock lesser sulfur crested cockatoo. Then with that flock member, I got divorced, and then Max came to live with me as an emergency foster. And 1 week, 2 weeks on the outside. That was 21 years ago, so it's been a really long couple of weeks. Right, Max? Yeah. Thena, my lesser sulfur crested, did pass away, which was super, super sad. And the lovebirds have long since passed as well. But yeah, so that's sort of how our flock has grown over time. Right, Max? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. Hi, Barbara. Yeah, Max is pretty happy. Oh, you're going to slide on my knee, honey. What are you doing? Are you trying to turn around? You're trying to balance. Let's just get that angle, baby. Max, your balance is not very good on that knee right now. This foot's going to slide. I mean, you're just going to end up on my lap, but yeah. You think about that, okay, buddy? You think. Kathy, it's really a joy to share him with the world. Yeah, you can see he's preening, and he was just cleaning up his harness a little bit, saying it's in the way. What you doing, Mom? Okay. You want to turn around, Max? Turn around. Come on, turn around. Turn. Turn. Come on, let's turn. Up. Let's go up. Up. There. It's easier. Yeah, that's a better perch. Now your feet are nicely perched on my knee, and you're not at risk of falling. And that was just a mosquito. Not happy with the mosquitoes, Max. Lady Plamo, no, we do not eat peanuts. Peanuts are not good for birds. Peanut shells especially some of them have fungus and asparagus fungus, which can be a really, really bad disease for birds. So it's actually recommended by most vets to avoid peanuts. I know some of the bird foods out there do have them in, but we do not feed peanuts at all. If they get treats, they get some tree nuts. Max's favorite are walnuts, right, Max? Especially Wally's in the half shell. Yeah. You like those, don't you, Max? Yeah, Emily, you've been here for a long time. We recognize you as in our flock. You know, the fun part is when you hang out and you're at a lot of live streams and you chat and you're a regular, we really do get to know each other, don't we? And it's kind of fun. It really makes me smile when I see our regulars, but it also makes me get really excited when I see new people commenting on the chat and liking us and following us and joining us. I mean, you know, it's amazing how we're growing. YouTube grows slower than Facebook. Facebook, we actually just turned 112,000 followers. Our goal on YouTube is to hit 100K and get our silver play button. We can only do that with your help. So if you're just joining us, give us a like, give us a follow. And I mean, you know, we can promise you a lot of joy, right, Max? A lot of joy, a lot of happiness. We tried to spread it, right, Max? Good night, Jocelyn. Thank you for joining us. What do you see, Max? You see people? Awesome. Is it awesome? Are you talking to people? Yeah. Hello. That's right, Max. Are you yelling hello? Oh my goodness, Max! It's 7:45. It's getting late. Up. Come on up. Up. Oh boy, Parrot! I'm going to just pop this into the holder for a minute, and I'm going to stand up. There we go. All right, Max. I'm going to stand up here. Whoa! There we go. And it is getting late. Mosquitoes are beginning to attack me, Max. I seem to be lunch, and I'm just going to set the chairs back up at the table. Put the cushions back on them. Start sort of my evening routine around here. Let's see, Max. I'm trying to keep you in focus. And yeah. All right, my chat's just froze again. There we go. Yeah. No, we do have a lot of fun, but if you're new, welcome. Welcome to Max the Moluccan. Thanks for joining us. Oh, you're yelling, Max. What's with yell? You know, one of our Max shirts. It's available on Etsy. Lots of fun. Word of the day for a free gift on Etsy if you place an order in the next 24 hours of the stream and you send us a message with the word corn to say, I was at the stream, I know the word of the day was corn. We'll send you an extra free gift with your purchase. Yeah, and if you're a regular, let us know, because then we know who we're chatting with. Because not everybody uses their same name. Yeah, Max, yeah. I know. I know. So did you have a good day, Max? Did you have a good streamy stream? Yeah? Okay. So here's the thing, Max. The mosquitoes are coming out, and I still need to get you your second dinner. And Mango's probably looking for second dinner too. And it's getting darker out. The day's getting shorter. A big fluff. But do you think I can get a Bok Bok Bok? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? That was not a Bok Bok Bok. That was a shriek. Okay, how about if I pick up the camera? What about if I pick it up and I flip it? Can I get a Bok Bok Bok? Max, oh, big poops. Can I get a Bok Bok? Can... That's not a Bok, Max. Kathy's never seen him this close. Yeah, right here. Up close and personal. Yeah, no, and he's getting a little bit noisy because it's getting late. The one other thing I want to do, and I'll just do it with Max on my arm, so just bear with me. I'm just going to rinse off the patio. So I'm just turning on water. Move the camera over here, because I do not want the camera to get soaked. Not good. It's a mosquito, Max. And I just hit the camera with the hose, and I'm just using a hose to just spray off bird poop off of the patio. Because he went a couple of times on the patio, and if I get it before it dries, it's really easy to clean up, and I think it's respectful to my neighbors not to have bird poop all over my patio. There we go. The piece I'm going to do here is just give a little bit of water to a couple of plants. And I'm just going to hold Max while I do this. Just squirting the water. I might be getting my neighbor's plants too, but I'm sure that they could use a little drink. It was pretty hot today. Ooh! Up close and personal with the bumblebee. Sorry, Mr. Bee. Yeah, I know you may not appreciate the fact that it's raining. There we go. Oh, here's Max again. Yeah. No, it's sometimes hard to do chores with a bird on your arm, but yeah. And we'll try not to get the UPS guy with the water hose. Although he might be overheated, he might appreciate it. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. I'm going to just set that back down, and I'm going to turn off the water. All right, Max. All right, buddy. All right. So, I want to thank everybody for joining us for the stream. We definitely had some fun tonight. Always fun to hang out with everybody. Hello. How are you tonight? Good.
Nice bird.
Thank you.
You talk?
When he wants to. He's it's getting a little bit late, so I think he's getting a little quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he usually likes to say hello.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a good night. All right, folks, I'm going to just grab the camera here. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did not intend to do that with the camera. Oh, now, Max, you don't get to chew on that. I'm going to rotate that. Okay, Max, no chewing on the camera. Good job. So, folks, we are going to just pack up. I'm holding the camera in one arm. I did not spray down my camera, but I did get the I got the tripod a little bit wet. Looks like I've got one bee on the ground that's beginning to die. I'm not sure what's going on with him. And I do want to get in just in case he starts releasing something that says there's danger around. I do not want the other bees to go after me. He was on the ground. He's been on the ground for a little while. It might just be that time of year too. But he's got water now if he needs it. Anyhow, thank you everybody for joining us. Bok Bok. All right, we're going to end stream.